So that's something that's not too much of a dispute. So the first cause is the creator, ultimately, of this universe. Whether there are many causes in between or he's the only one.
So that's a question, because I might not want to ask you if, because I don't know about the beginning. I'm just like, there must have been something. You call it the creator. Is there like the creator is always there, or is there like a cause for the creator?
As we established, if there was a cause for this creator, who caused this creator, who caused the creator? And you go on ad infinitum. And it will come to a point again, you'll have to say, there has to be a point where it stops.
Okay, so you think that there have been like
So
that?
whether you make millions and zillions creators in between or not, ultimately the end, the cause is the first cause. And that is the creator that we believe in. The creator that brought this universe into existence.
Okay.
Which is not caused itself or himself. There is no creator for that creator. So the question doesn't apply like who created the creator, because we've already exhausted this. Yeah? So what would be the necessary qualities or properties, attributes of this cause, the first cause, creator?
For me, like what you are calling the creator, I didn't mind.
What would you want to call it? Cause?
No, I think it's more or less like energy, like quantum energy.
Okay, energy. The first energy that hasn't got anything else to cause it to be there.
Yes.
What other properties and qualities does this energy have that brought us into existence?
Coincidence.
Coincidence? I would say unlikely. I'll tell you, I'll give you an example and say why not. I would say this energy possesses something called self-awareness and a will. Power, of course, energy is power. It's already given in that definition. If you're not self-aware and you don't make a willing choice, then could this be the result? For example, this is the example I'm going to give you. Imagine there is a room in which there's a table and, okay, call it a kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to eventually label it as a kitchen. It's a kitchen. There's a cooker there and a freezer there and water supply and everything.
Yes.
Now, if there is no conscious, willing, self-aware, something that was going to do something, do you think having the milk inside the fridge, water in the tap, but not running, and in the cupboard there's a cup and a plate, and there's the tea there, and a sugar in another pot, and a spoon somewhere else. Do you think without someone willing to make tea with 2 sugars, this will just happen by coincidence, ever?
No, I think like in the beginning, it was more like this quantum energy or this energy by coincidence.
But before you go to that example, let's talk about this kitchen. Would a cup of tea with 2 sugars ever be produced in that kitchen?
In that kitchen by coincidence?
Yeah.
Not in this form, because what I wanted to say, I wanted to respond. I just wanted to say what I mean, why I'm responding like this.
Okay.
I think that first of all, with this energy and the coincidence is created some form of atoms, and by coincidence, atoms start to create small particles, small moleculars, and if they reach, after reaching a certain size, so a certain complexity, they're with the beginning of this. Sorry, just a second. So by coincidence, they were the first kind of organism, and with the starting of being organism being there was a start of the will. What do you call self? Yes. Yes. So it started with the organisms, because the organisms kind of figured out that their mechanisms are working well for them. So all the mechanisms are working good, and they have enough energy to exist. So they started to develop this, how do you say it, self-awareness? Yes. And this is the point where you can talk about your kitchen. So from this point on, there must be a will, but the will is the will of all the organisms, you know what I mean?
So why would there not be a cup of tea with 2 sugars produced from that kitchen? First of all, let's understand why not.
Because there's too much substance. Mm-hmm. So I'm just talking about coincidence.
So when you have an energy, how does this energy produce something without being aware of it? So where did the energy come from? It's inherent within this particular cause. It was not given. Because we're talking about the first cause, the prime mobile, the first cause which exists by necessity. If it doesn't have a will on self-awareness, you're saying something proceeds from it, and then eventually these things gather together. Do you know how complex the first living cell is?
It is very
It is
complex.
impossible to self-organize. Impossible. Why? Because to make a living system, a cell, it has certain organelles. Whether it's the lysosomes and mitochondria, yes. We are talking about proteins and enzymes.
Yes.
To make proteins, you need DNA. To make DNA, you need proteins. It's a catch-22 situation. You can't have it. It's not going to work.
It's like. May I answer?
You can.
So I think so before you had a complex cell, even the cell developed from in a long process because there's a. It's called, I think, Mitochondria in German, which is like the theory of the mitochondrions, you know, like the nuclear power of the cell.
But remember, there are no laws within the universe. There is no laws. There is no gravitational constant. There is no Planck's constant. All these constants in the universe doesn't exist because that energy didn't create any of that. So now, things won't just form. There is no forces of attraction or repulsion. It just wasn't created.
No, I think like what you got, the concept you call creator or God.
But this energy didn't do any of that.
No, because it happened by a coincidence.
Are you saying by coincidence the law formed, the law of attraction formed?
Yes.
By coincidence the law of repulsion formed by coincidence?
Because energy used to respond to energy. So if there's a certain amount of
So the law forms by themselves.
if there's a certain concentration of energy in one part, because you have like space and energy.
Which makes sense that this energy consciously decides to put the order in this universe, or it just happened by coincidence.
It happened by coincidence, I think.
It makes sense. So do you think if I have all the ingredients to make a jumbo jet, a Boeing 707, and I put it in a warehouse, and I leave it there, and every now and then I create some explosion. So by chance, I expect the next generation, Boeing 747, 707, A437, whatever, to produce, right?
No, because it's
Why
like,
not?
I think what you are trying to, so we're talking about coincidence.
Yeah.
I think the system of coincidence is working on a very, very small scale. So it doesn't work for huge amounts of substance like for a Boeing 7.
The reason why I'm saying is atom is not what you think atom is. You break down into quantum world. In quantum, see all these quantum particles interacting with each other, they're not simple. They're very complex in their interactions.
They are
That
complex.
interaction is already an interaction to which there are rules and laws in place already.
And I think those rules and laws, you're talking about the small scale, it's more or less like the response of them to themselves. More or less,
Don't worry about the hecklers, they will come and go. Sorry.
more or less formed by the coincidence. So it's like by coincidence there were those quarks.
When you say
and then
coincidence, okay, what is coincidence?
It's just like
Personally, I don't think there is such thing as coincidence. It doesn't exist. What is coincidence? If I flip a coin, brother, listen. If I flip a coin, £1 coin, whether it is head or tail, do you think it's coincidence?
Part I didn't understand you because
You know
somebody
money,
Yes.
right? Do you have a
Because
£1 coin?
I didn't understand because somebody was
Okay.
talking.
I know. Hecklers will come and they will whisper. Don't worry. So you have a head
Yes,
and a tail, right?
yes,
That's what we call a coin.
yes,
Now, if I flip this coin
yes,
and I falls on my hand,
yes.
is it a coincidence? Is it head or tail?
It is.
No, it's not. Let me tell you why it's not. If I know all the factors that are associated with this action, the density of this material, the weight, the humidity in the air, the temperature, the air pressure, the height, as it falls, the force that I'm flicking this coin, and when it falls, the impact it's going to have on my hand, the pressure it's going to enforce on my hand and bounce back. If I factor all of this in my equation, we can pretty much most probably say it's going to be head or tail, because we know this is going to happen. The fact that I don't know all of these factors in my equation, I say by chance it's going to be head or tail. But if I could eliminate and find all of these factors, you can say, yeah, it's going to be head and tail, and you can actually do that in the labs.
Yeah, but
So in that way, thank you, there is no coincidence. It's our unawareness of the factors in play.
yes, that's true. But there will always be, like, the understanding of our coincidence is that you don't know or you can't prove it. So,
But when you say we don't know and prove, remember, it's our ignorance of the matter, of the reality. If we knew it, you can say it's going to head or tail with most probability. It's highly probable it's going to be head or tail, right? This energy, when it did something, when you say coincidence, there is no such thing as a coincidence. When something happens, it happens through a what? I would say it happens because of the will, because of the decision from that energy. It makes sense that the energy then decides. That's why we say this creator possesses self-awareness, creates power, possesses power, and a will to make things. Because when everywhere in our life we know and we see that it is by choice and will and by decision things happen. Nothing happens by coincidence. Nothing. Either it happens through our ignorance of the laws that are in place. For example, if someone throws something, you don't know whether it's going to hit that tree or not, whether it's going to damage that leaf or not. But if you knew all of it, you can pretty much say the probability of that leaf getting plucked from that tree, this is going to happen. You know that. So likewise, we say this universe follows certain rules and laws that is already built in.
that's what's
And who did build in? Not the first cause.
I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I know that there are natural laws like gravity and stuff, but about the beginning, so your point of view is that there's a creator with a will, and I say I don't think that is like this. I think I haven't got enough proof for it to say anything about
What proof have you got?
it. I don't have any.
Okay, you haven't got any proof.
So
Okay, fine.
that's the reason why I also told you, this gentleman, that I don't want to make a point about it. That I don't want to say, okay, there's the creator or the being or the creator you call it. So I think I don't have enough proof to say what is in the beginning, and I don't have enough proof to say yes, there is reason A, and it started with all that. Or I don't have enough proof to say no, there has to be a reason A. There always had to be like a infinitive chain reaction.
Sure.
It's just like I don't think we have enough facts to talk about it.
Okay, you see that camera there, phone?
Yes. And I think I would like to stop this discussion, but I don't want anybody to film me. I'm just like too long in this space.
That's why we can wrap this up. I'm saying you can see this is Canon and Nikon, right? They've designed it. That particular one in particular, I can't see who designed it. Would I be reasonable to say this has no designer because I don't know who the designer is? Would it be reasonable for me to say this camera is not designed because I don't know who designed it?
You can say that you know that there should be a designer because it's already an amount of substance there. But I'm talking about this about the circumstance before the very beginning of substance, and that's why what we are arguing about. Now, you say there's a creator, I say I don't know what there's, and I don't have any facts based on that.
But the difference is, I'm saying, when we look at the reality around us,
Yes.
whether it's this camera or the whole universe in its operation,
Yes.
I see the action of a designer in place. When I see the camera, I don't need to know whether it's manufactured by Apple or Samsung, whoever. I know this has a designer by looking itself as the complexity and organization within this camera. I look at this universe, I see the harmony of the universal constants, the things that are there. You can say this camera is just a coincidence and believe in it. You can believe in that. You can believe the camera came by itself through coincidence. But me, I cannot accept that. Just like I cannot accept this universe or it just come by coincidence. Because it's so precise, so organized. It's not just organizational complexity. We're talking about a level of complexity that's so much that it, totally blasts our mind in terms of how much it is there. And yet, we are told by a group of people, dogmatics, atheistic community scientists, saying this all came from evolution and chance and so on and so forth, for a particular reason, because they have a particular doctrine behind it. Why? Because if they were to tell everyone, actually, yes, we know like this must have a designer, the universe must have a designer, the consequence is, who is this designer? Why did this designer design us? They don't want you to go into this consciousness.
What's the purpose?
So that's the difference between a theistic perspective and an atheistic perspective. You as a person of intelligence, you can see the universe around you. No one will say, don't use your critical thinking. Using your critical thinking, you will see that everything within this cosmos, whether it's a tree or another animal, a cat or a dog or a snail, you can see the complexity and the harmony and the precision and the laws that are bound within that system. And yet somehow someone is telling us that is a chance product. A product of a chance over maybe 13.6 billion years. For me, I don't buy it. For you, it's up to you. But at the end of the day, I'm going to die and you're going to die. And we will see the reality. When we face the reality and we are then questioned about our reality, why did you not believe seeing all the signs, all the evidence all around you? And you'd say, what would you say? I know what I can say, because I know I've seen it and I've accepted it. I didn't reject the signs around me. You have to account and justify your belief. That's between you and what you see in the afterlife, if there is one. I believe there is an afterlife, and I believe there's a heaven and a hell. Hell is for people knowing the truth, they reject it, the reality, the truth. Heaven is a place where God, our Creator, has created for us, for our happiness and joy and tranquility. This is not heaven. That's why we have some suffering here and there. This is a place of our testing, whether we actually deserve to go to eternal happiness, or we are so arrogant and stubborn, or so uncaring, unmindful, not even bothered, and then we decide against ourselves to go to a place of torture and misery and unhappiness and suffering and pain. That will be our own making. Our Creator, when you compare your concept of the energy and our Creator has attributes which no one gave. Just like your energy would have attributes and quality no one gave. We would say our Creator is self-aware, alive, conscious, meaning someone who's aware and has a will, but also just, and also kind and merciful to the creation that our Creator created, and created us for a purpose. Our Creator didn't create this all in vain and everything and just let it be. No, there is a reason for our creation. Every part of your body has a function, has a purpose. Your eyes, your lungs, your liver, your kidney. There is a set function and a purpose which you or your parents didn't put in place. None of us designed, or you know what, the purpose of the inner cells, the cochlea in our ears, is to make us hear and have a fine balance as I'm standing. We didn't design it. The whole body, we are told we have no purpose. Our purpose is to be happy and to make money and to have a man or a woman in our life and that's it, and live and die like that. No. We have a purpose in our life, because all part of our body, your shoes have a purpose, and yet we don't have a purpose. Our purpose is to recognize our Creator and be grateful to our Creator.
Scientifically,
if someone gave you, a kidney or a lung or a heart transplant when you needed it, you would be grateful and thankful to that person, because that person gave you out of their own kindness and generosity perhaps. And being grateful and being thankful, showing that gratitude, is your natural response. When you have a heart transplant from someone or a kidney from some donor, you will be thankful to them, say thank you. Our Creator given us all of it, 2 kidneys, lungs and a heart and a digestive system and so on. Our natural response, we say, should be one of gratitude. Thank you. And that is what we say the purpose of our life is, to be grateful to our Creator and to live our life according to what our Creator wants us to live, so that this is linked with the hereafter.
So we're talking now about religion.
Yes.
I don't want to talk.
That's fine, because you have to go. I just want to summarize this before you go.
Yes, I don't want to talk about religion because I think I don't have enough facts. So you can believe in the Creator if you want to. I don't want to disturb you, but I want to be like, I'm still looking for facts. Thank you.
That's fine. Well, it's no matter of laughing. It's people's own choice. So let them choose what they have to choose.
Muslims in Norway are now establishing a masjid and Dawah center to enhance the Norwegian Dawah. If you donate to this cause, you will inshallah reap the rewards of thousands of Muslims coming back to Islam, and many of those will become du'at and invite to Islam. So click the link and donate now and share the video for extra reward.